But Russia's ground invasion has been stymied by Ukrainian counterattacks. And the Russians are still
multi-million-dollar project.
All right, well, as we just alluded to, closing arguments were presented today in a Superior Court in the trial of Rudy Canata.
Our Hannah Devanzo joins us live in Agатnya. Hannah.
The fate of Rudy Canata now lies in the hands of a jury, as closing arguments were presented this morning in Superior Court. Rudy Canata could face decades to life in prison if the jury finds him guilty for the murder of the former Humatag mayor, Daniel.
Beautiful. It is, right, baby?
To turn left at the bottom of the hill. One person was transported to Naval Hospital while 2 people were transported to nearby GMH. All that were transported, GPD reports, at the scene were assessed and treated by medical personnel. Their conditions are unknown at this time.
4 men were arrested following an early morning police chase that started in Tumon and ended in Pagat, Mangilaw at around 2:30 in the morning Friday. According to GPD, officers were attempting to conduct a traffic stop along Ipow Road when the driver took off and gave chase. In Pagat, the driver rammed into several patrol cars. 1 officer was injured and was provided medical attention. The following individuals were arrested: Andrew Vitovas, he was the driver; Darren Canata and Anthony Kenga. They were booked and confined, while the 4th individual, Jerry B. Mantonotnya, was booked and released.
If you plan to head to any of our island's military bases, heads up, you no longer have to wear a mask. Around 9 this morning, Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson made the announcement as such on Facebook.
I'm happy to announce that we are removing the mask mandate effective immediately. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for your patience during this often difficult and trying time. It is through your dedication and understanding that we have been able to reach this very important milestone.
Admiral Nicholson said, although the fight's not over, we are better equipped for this battle, also encouraging everyone to continue social distancing when possible, to wear a face mask if you're not feeling well, and if you are sick, please do not report to work.
The mask mandate for Guam, however, remains in effect. Governor Lulian Guerrero spoke Saturday night at the Guam chapter of the American Red Cross Red Ball as Guam continues to round the COVID corner.
And we are actually just at the brink of going into endemic. And so once we declare that, we will all go back to some form of normalcy. But we still have to continue being very vigilant and very sensitive to our ability to respond as urgently as we can should another surge come on.
Meanwhile, on Friday, the Joint Information Center announced that Guam's COVID-19 community level is now moderate.
Back in Guam's capital village at the legislature, the Committee on Rules has updated the Guam Congress Building Risk Management Plan relative to COVID effective today. Now here's what you need to know. The mask mandate will remain in place. Digital circulation of documents is still encouraged, but if physical documents need to be delivered, the protocol office will receive them and notify offices to retrieve them. Public hearings, however, may now be held either in person or virtually.
Senators, they're back in session. Several bills remain on the agenda to include a measure that has support from both sides of the aisle. Bill 123 would require that any public sector employee that resigns must submit to a drug test if they want to re-enter the public sector. On Friday, senators spent several hours discussing a measure that would build up Guam's healthcare capacity, providing tuition assistance to students who seek a job in the healthcare field. Bill 158 is referred to as the Barada Act.
The Chief of Operations for the U.S. Space Force, General John Raymond, wrapped up a tour of Andersen Air Force Base just this past weekend. It included a visit to the Space Force's 21st Operations Squadron Detachment 2. The lone Space Force unit on base includes 30 personnel capable of providing real-time space capability support across the Indo-Pacific region. General Raymond says, and I quote, Detachment 2 has a long storied history dating back to the 60s, and its geographic location in the Pacific is critical to our ability to rapidly transport data to and from space. Now, the chief of the 6th branch of the U.S. Armed Forces also met with 12 service personnel known as Guardians, see that, who were transferred from the Air Force to the Space Force to Andersen in the past year. The Space Force was established in 2019, made up of more than 7,000 servicemen and women. And Bree, you like that kind of play on words in particular, the Guardians, Space Force,
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I wonder if they get that all the time.
They probably love it. It's probably a rite of passage. She really loves the MCU.
I sure do.
Okay.
And still to come, HRRA Executive Director Lazi Casil will join us in studio to talk about the upcoming Serena Festival.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
KUAM Communication is your go-to source for the biggest national and international sports events. Check out KUAM TV8 and KUAM TV11 for the biggest sports specials, championships, and events from every court, track, field, and playing ground. We're bringing you all the action and excitement. Brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Docomo Pacific.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
People place a lot of trust in us. Finding a home, investing in property, or making the decision to sell can be a major life decision. And we're passionate about helping you through it. Thank you for letting us come into your home each week and share our takes with you. We're happy to help.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty. Tuesdays on KUAM News Extra, Health, Home, and Lifestyle.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC and the Medical City, where patients are partners.
It's deep diving into what's making news, listening to your feedback, and getting you the answers you deserve. Plus, remembering to laugh a little too. Join me, Chris Barnett, on The Link, live streaming video on the KUAM News Facebook page and YouTube channel, and broadcast live on The Breeze, 93.9 FM, KUAM.com, and the KUAM News app. Miss The Link, miss a lot, so don't miss it.
The Link is presented by IT&D, Calvo Enterprises Inc., Jack in a Box, and Pacific Points.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the CNMI, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
The HotSpot returns right here, everybody, and joining me in studio right now, someone who I have not seen in person for a very, very long time, particularly about 2 years and 12 days. Lassie Casil, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here in studio with you. This is such a strange feeling.
I know. Well, you know, hopefully get used to it, because we'd love to have you back on as many times as we can, because you're doing amazing things for the community, punctuated by the fact that as executive director of the Hagåtña Restoration and Revitalization Authority, I always get the R's backwards. I always say Revitalization and Restoration, but it's Hagåtña Restoration and Revitalization Authority. You're putting on the first Serena Festival.
Yes.
That is amazing, I must tell you. I don't even know anything about it, and I'm in.
Well, you know, Serena, Hagåtña is the home to Serena.
Sure.
Yes, we have the Serena Plaza in Hagåtña, and many of our local legends take place in Serena. And that's the inspiration for this festival is, you know, we wanted to create something that celebrates our local legends and our stories and our matrilineal society. And what better than see Serena?
Mm-hmm. How did you guys come up with the concept? Because, of course, under your tutelage, you know, Hagåtña, our island's capital, and, you know, the location of so much rich history and culture and our heritage, where we come from, where we're going, obviously is going to be the centerpiece of that. But why did you pick Serena, and how will you kind of thematically make activities and events get centered around that?
Well, part of the Hagåtña Restoration and Redevelopment Authority's mission is to, you know, promote and protect and preserve our history. So this is in our mission statement. While we do have a lot of larger projects on the horizon, you know, to re-centralize the government and, you know, redevelop the city, we do have these small challenges that we want to bring, you know, to the city. Mm-hmm. Events. So this was inspired actually from, you know, I lived in New York for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to the Coney Island Mermaid Festival, which has been going on for 45 years. And
did you get a hot dog there too?
I did get a back when I ate meat.
World famous.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And so, you know, going along with our mission, it only made sense that we celebrate Serena. You know, we also have the legend of the maidens that wove their hair together to save Guam from the giant fish that was eating, and that took place in Hagåtña. Mm-hmm. So we're bringing together a whole bunch of events to celebrate Serena and our stories. We're going to have storytelling at the Guam Museum. Early in the morning, we're going to have a women's fishing derby. And that is sponsored by Shut Up and Fish Guam.
I love it.
And there'll be cash prizes for that. Mm-hmm. We're working now together with one of the businesses in Hagåtña, Southern Mountain Gear, to organize a ceremonial paddle out. Mm-hmm. And then we're hoping to have a beach cleanup. So that's all the early morning activities. And then the Serena activities start at 4 p.m. in Skinner Plaza. Mm-hmm. So we'll have a kickoff there. Kaha is having an artist market, you know, with different vendors all under the Kaha umbrella selling their items. We're going to have the first annual Queen Serena crowned.
Nice.
So,
and whoever is crowned the very first one, I mean, that's a designation you can carry with you for life.
Yes.
I hope whoever wins that and her family Put it on all social, put it on your LinkedIn profile, because that is something that, you know, everyone's going to want to know about.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The governor's going to come down and hopefully read some stories. We'll have story time in the Guam Museum as well, from 6 to 8. We'll have cowbell rides. Department of Agriculture is coming down, and they're going to be bringing the cocoa bird to share with people. What else do we have? We will have food trucks and a costume contest with cash prizes for the best mermaid outfit in several different categories.
Okay, now just for people, maybe the uninitiated out there, and there's a lot of young people who say like, oh, okay, Sirena, it's Guam's version of the Little Mermaid, you know. Ah. No, that's not it. You know, symbolically, you mentioned the matriarchal significance of Sirena, and you know, just in Hagåtña, you've got Santa Maria and Camelin right across the street, you know, literally.
Right.
There's such a strong, you know, it's International Women's Month too, such a strong sense of our reverence for women and females in Chamorro culture. Talk a little bit about that, because it's like, okay, she's a mermaid. Many people who learn Guam legends, that's the first one they learned, the legend of Sirena and everything like that. But to us, there really is a deep connection with who she is and what she symbolizes.
Yes, it really tells the story of the presence of women in our society, and how strong their influence is. You know, you have the mother of Sirena, who tasked Sirena with, you know, chores to do during the day, and she kind of wanted to go out and play, and you know, she had this very strong personality. She'd rather go out to the water, and she just didn't do her chores, and so her mother cursed her. But then we also have the godmother, who also plays a very strong part in our society, you know, who said, listen, Sirena, part of her belongs to me. And so that's how Sirena became, you know, her mother cursed her to turn her into a fish, and her godmother saved her, and so she became half fish, half woman. And
Nina saved the day. Well, at least in
Nina,
part.
Nina did save the day, and so that really, you know, it tells a story of just how much influence and the impact that women have in our matrilineal society. You
Absolutely.
know, in our society, pre-Spanish, women owned property. You know, they could move from family to family. They took care of the children, and still do. You know, very, very, you know, we now have a female magahaga.
Exactly.
Yeah, who took care of us for 2 years during this epidemic.
And the future is Famalawan, as they say.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
We do have an art contest as well that's going to be open to all the public and private schools.
We used to do this all the time when I was a little kid growing up on Guam Public School and everything. It was always like, okay, draw Sirena, learn how, and you know, it would be like almost like a coloring book, right?
Right.
And it would say like, okay, Serena's tail obviously has to be a certain color, her hair has to be a certain color, and I mean, this was standard practice for Guam
I
kids.
won one of those contests when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yes, and I got like a gift certificate from Bank of Guam. I still have it.
Which is right down the street in Hagåtña. So,
Yes.
so see, I think it's circuitous karma how you would now be in charge to lead this effort to bring back Sirena and, you know, celebrate her in the capital of the island. And this is the first annual, so I mean, this isn't just like a one-time shot.
We hope that this will, you know, continue every year and become a signature event for our capital city of Hagåtña, really celebrating our culture, our stories, our legends. And, you know, I gave you some information. I don't know if you have the graphic that you could post on your Facebook
We're also
later.
going to put it on Instagram so people can share that all over the place.
Great, yeah. There's information. We'll be posting it on our Facebook page, Sirena Festival Guam. We also have the Instagram page, Sirena Festival Guam. It'll show all the contact information. If you're interested in being in the pageant, you can call Gita and speak to Drick Castillon at 647-4332. If you're interested in the Women's Fishing Derby, please reach out to Shut Up and Fish Guam at 777-2459. We have the paddle out. Please reach out to Southern Mountain Gear at 477-4327. And if you're a Kaha artist interested in, you know, selling your goods, please reach out to Kaha. We have some great sponsors too, and we're still looking for sponsors, even media sponsors. Maybe you guys might be interested in joining us.
Sabrina would love to dress up as Sirena. She can enter the beauty contest.
Fantastic, Sabrina. You're
totally
hired. We have some great sponsors who.
Okay, we got about 30 seconds. So
who've jumped in. You know, the Bank of Guam, Cassidy's Insurance, Addis Trust. And we also, you know, a lot of support from our sister agencies, Kaha, Gita, It's here. Let me see, 30 seconds. Guampedia, the UOG Press. The governor's office has, been a big, strong support. The Hadza Foundation.
So obviously a lot of strong organizations with strong local roots really, really care about this. So
yes.
Lassie, we also care about you too. So thank you for giving us some of your time and thank you for putting us in the event. Okay, we're gonna head to commercial break when the hotspot returns, everybody. But please, I could not let this segment go. Sing it with me. Si sirena.
Oh, I love that song.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC and the Medical City, where patients are partners.
It's deep diving into what's making news, listening to your feedback, and getting you the answers you deserve. Plus, remembering to laugh a little too. Join me, Chris Barnett, on The Link, live streaming video on the KUAM News Facebook page and YouTube channel, and broadcast live on The Breeze, 93.9 FM, KUAM.com, and the KUAM News app. Miss The Link, miss a lot, so don't miss it.
The Link is presented by IT&D, Calvo Enterprises Inc., Jack in a Box, and Pacific Points.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile. This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.